So I managed to injure my bicep tendon, forearm and teres major muscle in 1 week. And in this video I'm going to share with you how I got injured and what I'm doing to recover. Let's start with the teres major muscle. It's a small muscle right above the lat and below the rotator cuff, and I managed to injure it at the time when I was making the most progress on my calisthenics journey. My front lever pull-ups were looking cleaner than ever before. I did my first weighted pull-ups with 42.5 kilograms. My back was getting bigger and wider, and I was making a lot of progress in general. Now, this is my 4th time having this injury, and I'm not 100% sure why it happened, but I think I know the reason. The first time I got this injury was in October 2023. During that time, I was trying to learn the one-arm pull-up, and because at the time I didn't have much knowledge about creating a workout program, I was just training on random days, doing some random high-intensity work without any structure to my workouts whatsoever. Now, one-arm pull-up is a skill that's very difficult to do and very demanding on tendons, joints, ligaments, and if you don't train smart, it's very easy to get injured. So this is exactly what happened. I did one of my intense one-arm pull-up sessions, felt pretty good about the workout, and then one day later I started feeling very sharp pain in the armpit area. At the time I thought that this pain is in the long head of the tricep, and I even made a video about it. Until 1 year later I did some research and realized that this is actually in the small muscle called the teres major. Now, you might think that, lat muscle is also responsible for pulling the arm. Maybe your lat is injured. The reason why I don't think so is that latissimus is too big and strong to get strained because of one-arm pull-ups. So the only thing that made sense to me is that it's probably a teres major strain. And I think my diagnosis is correct. The way I managed to diagnose it was by looking at the anatomy of the muscle. This muscle is responsible for adduction, extension/retroversion, and also for internal rotation. And I would feel the pain when both adducting my arm and also when doing the extension/the retroversion. Now, I think I shared enough about this injury. I'm planning to record a separate video about it soon, so if you have any questions about this injury, leave them in the comments. So here are 4 things I'm doing in order to recover from this injury. 1. I stopped doing any exercises that cause pain. 2. I replaced the exercises that cause the pain with the exercises that don't cause any pain, but still allow me to train and maintain my level. So instead of pull-ups, I'm doing one-arm dumbbell rows, and instead of regular front lever holds and pull-ups, I do front lever touch holds. Now, in my opinion, the reason I don't feel any pain when holding the touch is that the muscle is not as stretched as it would be in the regular straight arm front lever, and it also gets less activated. This step is a very important step because, yes, I'm injured, but there is always something I can do to train, maintain my level, and promote blood flow in that area to let it recover faster. 3. I do rotator cuff and scapular stabilization exercises right at the end of my workouts in order to have healthy shoulders and good scapular control. The reason I do it is very simple. The teres major is not part of the rotator cuff, but it is very close to it. And if the muscles responsible for maintaining the scapular control are weak, then this can cause the teres major, this small muscle, to overcompensate. And if that happens, you're just gonna end up getting injured, and I don't want that to happen because this is my 4th time having this injury and I've had enough. 4, the last point, I make sure I don't stretch and put that muscle in uncomfortable positions. I usually prefer stretching after a workout and in the mornings, but right now I avoid doing overhead stretching to not irritate that muscle, because a strained muscle doesn't like being stretched. I think I've shared enough about my teres major injury. Now let's talk about my bicep injury. I'm not 100% sure how I injured my bicep, but I think I know the reason. I was doing handstands at the end of a planche workout in December, and I randomly decided to try a 90-degree push-up. I felt strong. So after doing one more attempt of a 90-degree push-up, I failed, fell on the floor, and finished the workout. I didn't feel anything during or after the workout. Everything was fine. And then one day later, I started feeling very sharp pain in my right biceps tendon anytime I tried to activate it. And this is how I managed to injure it. Despite the pain, I still tried to continue doing planches because I was making good progress and I didn't want to lose that progress. But my biceps didn't feel the same way. Anytime I tried to planche, it would hurt and feel like it's burning. And I really felt like my tendon has gotten weaker, which I think is called tendonitis, distal biceps tendonitis. So yeah, in order to recover from it, I completely stopped my planche journey for obvious reasons, and I also don't do any exercises that can cause pain. So for example, elevated planche leans or some heavy pull-ups, I completely avoid doing them in order to let the muscle heal, the tendon heal. And instead, I shifted my focus towards handstands and handstand push-ups because I can do them without any pain, and I've made some good progress in the last 2 months. My handstand alignment and control have gotten better than ever before, and I managed to do a handstand push-up in every set in my workouts, which I've never done before. Recently, I started doing overhead pressing as an accessory for strength as well, and I can really feel that power when I do handstand push-ups. I also do bicep curl isometrics, bicep supinations with a band, and regular bicep curls for a couple of sets at the end of my workouts in order to strengthen the tendon and improve the blood flow in that area for faster recovery. I have also started to take magnesium because I remember my physiotherapist told me during summer that sports person and magnesium are like two brothers. It's very important to take magnesium because it helps with muscle recovery, and magnesium has other benefits as well. I just don't remember all of them. And one last thing that I also do is contrast showers on my right bicep. I do 30 seconds of cold water, then I do 30 seconds of hot water, and then I just repeat it until I get tired of doing that. Now, because I could no longer hold the planche in this kinda supinated position, but I still wanted to train it, I switched it to the normal parallel grip, and I held it for the first time without any bicep pain, which must be a good thing, right? Wrong. As soon as I changed the grip, I started feeling some pain in my forearm, but it was a weird type of pain in the bone, and for some reason I thought that it will go away, so I kept training that week. And guess what? The week after that I had to take a full break from both planches and handstands. The forearm pain was so strong I couldn't do them without any discomfort. Now, I didn't do much research about this pain because I intuitively knew that it will pass over time, so I just stopped doing anything that causes the pain for about a week, gradually started doing handstands again, and I also did and still do some ulnar and radial deviations for my forearm because I feel like and I suspect that this pain is either in the radial or the ulnar bone. And yeah, this injury is the least serious one out of the three, and I pretty much don't feel it 90% of the time. So yeah, if you've ever been injured, you probably know how frustrating it is when you're making so much progress, when you just unlock the straddle planche and you're making progress in planche, when you're almost unlocking the 90-degree push-up, when your front lever pull-ups are looking cleaner than ever before, and then all of a sudden you need to stop your workouts because some part of your body hurts. I've been there a lot of times. I've been injured for like 20, 30, 40 or even more times. I know exactly how it feels like. It is very frustrating and at times depressing when you get injured. It's absolutely normal to feel that way if you are injured, because every single person who's serious about his training, every single athlete who's serious about his training has moments like this when he gets injured and he doesn't feel like working out anymore. When he gets injured, he gets frustrated and he doesn't want to work out because he lost all of his progress. It is absolutely normal to feel that way. But right now, I will share with you the 3-step method that I use whenever I get injured. I've been injured 20, 30, 40 or even more times, so you better listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. So the first step that I take is the mindset shift. When someone gets injured, they get demotivated. It is not a good thing because it's pessimistic. The way you can shift that optimistic mindset to pessimistic is in terms of thinking of a better story. So whenever I get injured, I think of a better story. Let's say this is my calisthenics journey, and the injury that I got looks like this on my journey. It's a small injury, and it's part of my journey. Whenever I get injured, I imagine myself that in the future, when I recover from that injury, I will have a better story to tell to people. So for example, if you're injured right now and in the next 2 months you recover from that injury, you will have a better story to tell to people. Your story will be more compelling and your story will also be more attractive because people will see that you had some struggles on your journey and you managed to overcome those obstacles and you became even stronger as a result of that. No one likes the person who's perfect, who's had it easy. Everyone likes the person who has had some obstacles on his way and he still managed to push through the pain and come out the winner. This is the first step that I always use, the mindset shift. The second step that you need to take when you are injured is keep training. It is very, very, very easy when you are injured to say stuff like, I'm injured, I'm not going to train because I'm injured, I will wait till my injury gets better and then I will train. it is not the best idea, because even if you are injured, you can still do something else and still work out. If you can do strength training, you can do some endurance training. If you cannot do endurance training, you can do some hypertrophy training. There is always something you can do, and it is a very crucial step, because you need to keep training in order to feel better and in order to maintain the level that you have. This is the second step. And the third step is understand why and how you got injured, and how you can make sure that it never happens again, and how you're planning to recover from that injury. Watch YouTube videos, study anatomy, study the anatomy of the movement that you are doing, study the technique that you are doing. Maybe your technique was really bad, maybe you pushed through too much pain, maybe you ignored some part of your workout that was crucial, maybe you didn't warm up, maybe you had to stretch your muscle but you didn't do that. There are a lot of reasons why someone can get injured. I cannot cover all of them here, but you need to. The third step is very crucial, because if you do not understand why and how you got injured, then I can almost guarantee you that in the future you will get the same injury again. So change your mindset, do the mindset shift. So shift your mindset from the pessimistic to the optimistic, a better story type of mindset. Still keep training, still do some stuff. Do not skip your workouts. You can always train even if you are injured. And the third step, find out how and why you got injured, so that it doesn't happen again. Prepare a recovery plan, so that you recover from that injury and so that it never happens ever again, so that you come out stronger than you were before, and so that you reach the new levels that you deserve to reach. So yeah, this is how I got 3 injuries in 1 week and how I'm recovering from them. If you found this video useful, make sure to hit the like button so that more people struggling from similar injuries can find this video and benefit from it. Subscribe if you want to, and until next time.